and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, hope you enjoyed that lovely Brutal OC as we have returned. We've returned here with the second half of the broadcast. We just wrapped up with the initial two series, and now we have confirmation as to the winners match and the elimination match as well. We're jumping in. We're jumping into our best of threes. Up first, we have Serral versus Cure. The winner of this series will advance on to the playoffs. The loser will have another chance in the decider match. Bearing in mind that neither of these two players will be eliminated, they both have another chance. They both have another opportunity to redeem themselves if they do go down. But let's go. Let us go. We're jumping into our ZvT. We're jumping into Winter Madness. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have our Finnish Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Serral. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. Here we go, and welcome on all to Winter Madness. Winter Madness is one of the larger maps in the map pool, larger map known for longer and later games, and we've already had some late game already here tonight, and we might see even more as well. It's going to be an interesting matchup here. Serral, of course, he arguably has the best ZvT. I mean, he's the best Zerg player in the world. He's a reigning world champion for a reason, of course. We have seen Serral at times struggle against Clem. Clem, he can be very, very active and very aggressive. I'm curious to see how Cure will approach this matchup himself, bearing in mind that Serral did also drop a series to Gabe, to Big Gabe, during Home Story Cup as well. To what? To mech. Gabe, he did mech 3 times in that series in a best of 5, and all 3 games Gabe did win. He did defeat Serral, did mech it up. Cure has been known to mix in mech against both Protoss and against Zerg, so we'll see if he does incorporate mech at some point in this series as well. Oh boy. Here we go. Otherwise, for now, Hatchcat's pool, standard openers, nothing crazy, nothing wild. There's no like 2-axe Reaper or anything crazy like that. We're settling into our early game, and we'll see if Cure does go for extra Raxes, an earlier CC, or any other earlier tech. Eyes are mainly going to be on Cure. Serral, he's very standard when it comes to a ZvT approach, which at times can be a hindrance. This is why we've seen players like Clem or like a Gabe previously catching him off guard. Serral, he's known for just going to be going Ling at Bane into Hydra play. He's not really one that incorporates mutas much at all in ZvT. He is one that used to go into Roaches quite heavily in years past, but that was pre-buff to the Baneling. That was pre-Ling Bane becoming more viable, of course. A build that we have been seeing both Raynor Embrace and Serral dip his toes into is going Ling into Infestor into Ultra Tech, skipping Banelings and skipping Roaches as well. We have been seeing this kind of greedier version of this greedier build mixed in every now and then. We mainly saw Serral embrace it during Maestros of the Game. That was the big French event, or the big offline event in France at the end of last year. End of last year. As the SCV does block the expansion, Reaper's in position as well, forcing out the gas guys, or eventually Serral does expand, but it's going to be a late expansion. Nice start out of Cure, disrupting the early game. Okay, it does disrupt. Meanwhile, Cure's build of choice, going for a 3rd CC before Starport. Economic build here out of Cure. Disrupting the early game, but outside of that, not much damage. Calming down. As the drone is locked down. As the Reaper is finally going to be zoned away. Oh no. The drone, no! The drone goes down as well. That was what, 3-4 cancellations as well. So big investment to keep it alive in the end. Was not able to. The drone does go down. Nice pick off here by Cure. Very nice. As it does pull away, does race back home. And building up into his 3rd command center, into a starport, into what should be an add-on swap, into Banshee play. Just very stock standard build here by Cure. Cure is more known for his mid-game for his 7-minute timing attacks, for his 7-minute pushes, typically with Hellbats, but we'll get there. Assuming the Hellions survive the early game. Hellions, they move out across the map. Overlord scouts in towards the main. Serral, he does confirm the tech lab on the starport, and he sees it researching. He knows. So Serral, he's aware of the cloak banshees. Behind this, going at lair first. That's 420 lair timing. From here, that means he has access to earlier overseers, earlier detection. Does mean earlier bailing speed as well. It also means delayed Eva chambers. As Hellions just poking and prodding. Again, they're here just to check the creep, just to make sure that Serral doesn't get out of hand. Keep it all in check. Behind this is going to be Buyer, thankfully. So 3 racks is behind this. Stim is on the way. We've built up to 7 Hellions. Okay, she does find some damage. Gets one. Gets one drone. Distracts all the queens. At the same time, Hellions, they do bust in, clearing up all the creep. It's what, 4 tumors going down. Oh. I've been disconnecting from Battle.net all day. Like, what the hell? What's going on? Battle.net, por favor. Again, Hellions once again just checking the bases. Now double banshee towards the natural. This time the overseer's in position. Oh, and do you see what I see? Fast Infestation Pit. Now, at the start of the game, I did mention how Serral has been mixing in a lot of Ling into Infestor into Ultra Tech. Here we do see an earlier Bailey Nest, so Serral is playing safe. He's doing Ling Bane first, but this does read Ling Bane into Ultra, or into Infestor Ultra. As Hellions, they threaten to die, they catch out some drones. Oh no! Oh, one Hellion gets surrounded. Yeah, Cure does overextend, not quite worth it. As he bleeds out some Hellions at the same time, Banshees, they do hit the natural. Drone's going to be going down. How many? There are 5 Hellions left, so 2 went down. And I mentioned earlier, this typically does lead into that 7-minute timing. We have 1-1 upgrade. Stim is on the way. Oh, sorry, Stim is done. Getting into combat shields. There's the Hive. And Serral, he's almost at Ultra Tech. He's almost there. He's rushing into set Ultras. That is going to be Serral's big power spike. Meanwhile, here comes Cure's move outs. 7 minutes. He's got a couple of Hellions. Armories on the way, so he can support with Hellbats. But I believe there's only 1 tank. Yeah, just the one. I don't really see Cure getting much done here. We'll see. He's pushing further in. Serral catching reinforcements. Very nice. Marines getting called out. Catching out Marines, getting ready for a surround. Trying to lure the army further in. Armory just now finishing. And here come the Hellbats, but it might just be too late. Yeah, it might be too late. Lings are coming for the surround. Bailings, they smash into the Hellbats. Ooh, massive connections towards the end. And with that, Serral holds. Serral, he does hold on. He shuts down the army. Hive is now done. We have Adrenal on the way. 2 Vipers as well. And we're still expecting an Ultra Cavern here. For now, though. So, trying to survive. Trying to keep up. Nice kiting here by Cure. Off of Creep. Just keeping Serral busy. Serral prioritizing 2-2. And Cure, again, he's still trading very nicely here. Oh! At least he was. It was trading well. Mainly does connect. Gonna be forced back. So Serral, he's holding on. He's holding, he's defending. Cure still committing across the map. And so he has no gas. Like, he has no gas to work with, I should say. Cure has momentum. He's moving in. He's upping army supply. He's keeping up an economy. Getting another expansion. So far we have a nice spread. Vipers are coming in. Get decent bending connections, and it looks like Serral, he will clean this up. Nice Mining Clouds. Gets one, gets two. Viper does fall. But Serral holds. And he holds on, catching up the tanks. Catching up the Marines. Serral does hold. Now we get our safety infestors on the way. I'm a little bit surprised we went Viper instead of Infestor. I feel like the infestors could have been a little bit stronger here. But now we're getting them. More gases are being taken. And I'm still on the fence with this build here. I'm still on the fence of going into Vipers, of going into Adrenal, of delaying the Ultra Cavern. So he's maxing out. And I mean, he's gotten here. True. Oh, going for the Spire instead. Okay, you have my attention. Going for the Spire. Are we thinking just straight Broodlords? We already have the Infestors. Okay. So we're not committing into Ultras. Oh. Baiting at the mines. We got Burrow on the way. Let's go. SFR was keeping up with the army. Massive Fungal. Oh my god. Yeah, catching up the army. Fungal does catch him out. Massive baiting connections. Curie plummets in supply. And Serral, he's free to tech up. He's free to tech up. Getting 3/3 upgrades. Spire is almost done. Waiting to see if it is indeed going to be just a fast greater Spire. How we see the Ultra Cavern, this does feel very late. But hey, he's getting there. The Spire's not done. Letting run by across the map. Delaying expansions, shutting down CCs. Getting one, getting two. Not bad. Takes on 2 orbitals. And catching up the orbitals. Starting back the army, getting within range. Very nice free split. This time he's ready for the Fungals. He's ready, Bappy. At least on the left-hand side. Trying to spread thin. Meanwhile, Links, they bust into the mineral line. Hatchery does go down. Yeah, Serral can't quite engage. Does force him back. Meanwhile, I mean, nice 9 mining. Doesn't kill many SCVs, but does 9 mining at the third at least. Delaying the economy. And here come the Ultras. Now, what's scary about these Ultras, one, it does feel very late, unfortunately, but there are still no Ghosts. That's what's important here. There's no Academy, there's no Ghosts, there's no Fusion Core, there's no Liberators. So right now, there's no answer to the Ultras. Mass Marauder can hold its own somewhat against Ultras, but they're not ideal. They're not ideal, so it does feel like Cure's army is being outscaled. It does feel like he's stuck on a very mid-tier composition. What I will say is that it does look like upgrades have slipped Serral's mind. Serral, he has how many? He has 4 Ultras. He does not have any Ultra upgrades. Yeah, just now starting kind of plating. This is late. So a late upgrade. This does impact Serral's ability to actually engage, to actually push out. Ay, ay, ay. So Serral stuck at home. He just stuck at home. Kira's taking more bases. Kira's stabilizing. Again, if the upgrades were done on time, then Serral could be more active here. But for now, we just gotta calm down. Wait for the upgrades. He's gonna be collapsing here, trying to hold on to the fringe bases. Nidus on the way. So another ultra specific upgrade other than plating. We have plating and ultra speed. It's called anabolic synthesis, right? Yes, there are 2 ultra upgrades. So far, nice catch on creep. Ooh, so he reacts with everything. Jesus. A bit of an F2. Panicking a little bit. But there it is. That's ultra speed. Anabolic synthesis. I think that's what it's called. We'll see when it pops up. Has very nice fungals. Okay. Yeah, nice fungals catching at the army. Kind of splitting is now done. At the same time, Kira pushing in, but once again, the fungals are connecting. Oof. Yeah, the fungals do land massive bailing connections, and Kira will take every fungal to the face. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, there it is. Anabolic synthesis. We remember, but we remember. And with that, Serral's on us. So he just snowballs out of control. He breaks on through again, taking 2 very strong fights. Who needs ultra speed when you just lock down the army? You just lock down the army with those fungals. There's almost nothing left here for Kira. And now Serral can push. Now we can start to push. Now we can start to move out. We can start to engage into these bases. As we mentioned before, Kira, he has no ghosts ready for this. He's now switching to Liberators. But Kira, he was not set up for a Hive Tech army. And here it comes. Might just being dragged away. Bailing's here busts into the Planetary. Planetary goes down. And Soldiers back off, rebuild, remax, and do that again. Just keep knocking down bases. So Kiri's on the back foot. He's trying to react, trying to respond. Once again, another Minimine's going to be going down. 12 SCVs. And another CC. Thankfully for Kira, Serral, he has no anti-air. So nothing shoots up, but the base is still being denied. Tanking mine connections. Liberators are revealed. That should prompt corruptor production. So after the next big fight, we should be seeing Corruptor soon. Shout out to the Changelings. Delaying the expansion. Serral finds another expansion. Decent fungal catching at the Marauders. Yeah, Bands are coming from behind. They collapse on the entire army. Ultra's pushing in as well. Oh my god, dragging the mine shots. Does drag the mines. And again, Kiri's down to 53 SCVs. Barely an economy. Another fungal. Oh god. He just keeps landing the fungals back. Ay, ay, ay. It breaks through the Winter Mines, pushing it towards the 3rd. Here come the Corruptors, now on the way. As Kira's holding on. He's holding on thanks to his Liberators. He's got some freedom. But we don't really see Cure really breaking out or doing any substantial damage. Does get an expansion here, but Serral, he can afford it. He's got plenty in the bank. Liberators are being annoying. But again, now they're corruptors. Oof. That's focus firing, catching out 2 medevacs. This is where technically we could see a Greater Spire and a switch into Infestor Broodlord. If the Terran builds up into a high ghost count, but again, there's still no Academy. So no need to worry. As Subright goes down, collapsing on the final army. This time we have anti-air. Despite that, Serral unable to push in. Has to pull away. This time Serral does not have a defending army here though. Curry breaks out, he distracts. Just trying to buy time. Cure, fun fact, he's out of gas. Completely. There's no gases here at the 3rd base, there's no gases here at the 4th, there's no gases at the triangular 3rd, there's 0 gas income. No. You can only make Marines back, that's all he's got. Only Marine. And Banelings, they smash in. These Marauders, they cannot be replaced. We need some gas, Batty. Oof. As every medevac goes down, every Liberator as well. There's nothing left in the skies. Oh, at least back at home. Still a secondary army. Gas is now being taken on the top side. Need to take the Brood War approach. Just call it what it is. Faster running, more shooting. Oh no. But as you're curious, the Brood War upgrades, a lot of them were just very... There was no like flavor text when it came to like what the upgrade would be called. So it just... So what's the upgrade? I just zealot speed, you know. Just get him some fast shoes and they're good to go. Like there's no anabolic synthesis or pneumatized carapace. No. It's armor upgrade. It's okay. Let's go. As again, it's kind of been a battle of attrition in a sense here. Like, Cure's just been trying to hold on for the past, what, 15 minutes? 10 minutes, really. But Serral, he has broken out. He takes down the fresh expansion. They're collapsing in the army. Cannot get away. Big fungals. And again, there's just no answer to these ultras. There's no ghosts. There's no liberators. GG gets called. And Serral, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Serral will take lead in the series. Winding it back here, Cure, he did have some nice moments. He did have some momentum at certain aspects, of course, in the early game when it came to hit the initial Reaper harass, for example, when it came to the first bio push as well. Unfortunately, Serral, he was able to defend well enough, and get away with his tech, rushing into Hive tech. It was really odd build out of Serral, I will say that. If you remember, he rushed into Hive, and I was expecting a rush into Hive into fast ultras, but he delayed ultra production quite heavily. He got a fast Viper, he went into Adrenal first as well, he prioritized 2 upgrades, and it took him a long time to build up in those ultras. He was very safe. He was very safe. A lot more commonly we see Zerg players go for that ultra cannon a lot faster. We often see it a lot faster, but here Serral, he kind of took his time and played a safer game instead. Just a safer game, a safer build. Unfortunately, there were a couple of moments where Serral did slip up, referring specifically to the ultra upgrades that did kind of elongate the game. There were moments where Serral could have been more aggressive and could have been more assertive, but because the upgrades fell by the wayside, it meant that he had to stay at home and take a more defensive stance instead. But GG well played. With that, Serral takes the lead, and now we're going to be loading into game 2, going to be loading into Ruby Rock. Let's go. As we're getting into game 2, a much smaller map in the map pool this time. Much smaller map. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the Finnish Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Basilisk, leading the series 1-0. It is Serral. And spawning in the top hand corner, we have the red Terran, the South Korean Terran for Team Liquid. It is Cure. Here we go. Now we are loading into a smaller map, and because of that, we typically expect more aggression, right? We expect more aggression. We expect some crisper timings and some more committed builds out of Cure. But Cure isn't really that kind of player. Like, he does hit some strong 7-minute timing attacks, that is true, and we have seen him embrace 8-Raxes in the past. I just don't know if he will this time, especially because in current meta, 8-Raxes are weaker, right? They are definitely weaker than they once were. I'm not opposed to the idea of going for an 8-Rax here on Ruby Rock, but it's up to Cure. And we'll see. We shall see. For now, hatch gas pool, going to be opening up, going to be settling in. Ultra upgrade. More beef. Make sure Ultra's beefier. True, true. Oh, God. So players are going to be opening up. From here, there's no 2-Rax Reaper opener, for example, out of Cure, so we're just going to be opening up Rax Expand. Last game was Rax Expand into Cloak Banshee. Into 3cc Banshee. We'll see if he deals something similar. I mean, that's just kind of the go-to, the standard build in TVZ is 3cc Banshee. For now, Serral joining, saturating. Because the map is a little bit smaller here, there's a higher chance that Serral does open Roach. Roaches are just a very safe way to play in ZvT, just because they're a little bit less lava heavy. They're more lava efficient. So when it comes to early game aggression, Roaches can be very, very safe. As Reaper does poke in, forcing at the Gas Geyser, kills one Ling. Does not kill a drone though. Not this time. Oh. As the Reaper is zoned away, third CC has been thrown down. So once again, 3cc starports out of Cure. We're expecting Banshees. Overlord Scout is going to be denied. Serral, he does not get into the main. Serral is playing blind. But I don't know if there's really much to hide here. Eyes are on Cure. Now, he knows that he did zone away the Overlord, so we could try to hide something. We could try to be cheeky and go for like an armory and keep the reactor on the factory. We'll see. As once again, Cure is making sure there's no Overlord Scouts. That's being very adamant. As we're waiting for that next tech structure here. Tech lab is on the way. Where's the starport? There's another Marine. Okay. Are we going for the armory? Are we going for a Hellbat push? Cure's being cheeky. Oh no, never mind. Going for a very fast double eBay. Now, do you remember what I said in the lead up to this series? Oh, sorry, in the lead up to this game and this map specifically. We were talking about Araxes. We were talking about Araxes 3-base all-ins, and I was discussing that I'm not opposed to an Arax on Ruby Rock. I just don't know if Cure is one to commit to an Arax on this map. What is an Arax? An Arax is a 3-base all-in, whereas a Terran player, you don't take your gases at the 3rd base. You instead just fixate on Araxes, mass marine production. You rally across the map and you try to kill your opponent. This used to be very trendy last year. I say last year, like 2024, 2025, early 2025. It was very trendy. We saw a lot of Araxes, especially at DreamHack Dallas, for example. Going for the fast double eBay before the starport and into another Arax as well. There's still no starport, by the way. There's no starport, there's no drop play, there's no harassment. It's really fast 1-1, more importantly, really fast 2-2. So very fast, very strong 2-2 timing here is going to be available, and we're expecting a 3-base all-in. This variation of Arax is very common amongst the Korean Terran players. If you watch Maru and Byan, they both embrace this as well. So I believe we're getting up to 5 Raxes currently. Yeah, we have a 5 Rax setup. We're waiting for 3 more. And also what's crucial about this is that Cure did the best he could to deny any kind of scouting. Serral here has not gotten in. Behind this, Serral is going for a safety Bailey nest. So he went lair first, into a nest, into delayed upgrades and delayed Evo chambers. Because of the faster lair, we could see an Overseer scout. There it is. Overseer does try to go in, but the Overseer will fail to get into the main base. Oof, that is brutal. Serral, he sees nothing. For all he knows, it could be Hellbats. For all he knows, it could be mech. He saw the high marine count. Okay. He saw the high marine count. He should have an idea. Oh, this is greedy. Fast Devastation Pit. Now, technically, a way to shut this down is to go for the fast pit, not into fast hide, but into fast infestors. If Serral can get like, what, 2-3 infestors up and running in time, then he can shut this down. Gases are on the way. Never mind. Remember, a part of an 8-Rax is to delay your, or to skip your gases. We have 1 gas in production, and I don't see any extra Raxes. So this is not going to be an 8-Rax. This is not going to be a 3-base all-in. Cure, he is pushing. He's pushing out with Hellbats. He delays 2-2 actually to do this. So he delays 2-2. Morphs in the Hellbats. And we'll see what he can get done here. I mean, there's plenty of Lingbane ready for Serral. And Curie's going to back off. We have the factory on the way, gas on the way. We should soon be seeing a 4th command center as well. And I'll be honest, Curie, he invested a lot here into this timing, and it's not really achieving much. He's denying creep, that is true. Creep is being denied. Serral setting up for a counterattack. Cure does spot this. Letting the collapse in. Not bad, catching out some Marines. And there are those safety infestors. 2 infestors are on the way. There's going to be plenty of fungals. Or at least 2. Cure hasn't gotten a 4th base. He's got the money for it. He's banking. Yeah, there we go. I was a little bit confused. I was like, he's got the money for it. Where's the 4CC? Okay, 4CC is now on the way. Cure pushing at both ends. Serral, he is in position for both armies. He's holding onto that fungal. There's 1 on each side. If he can land the fungal, we can clean up the army. Secure does pre-split. Does pre-split his forces. I will say that even though Curie, he hasn't been able to achieve too much with this move out, he has retained the army, right? Like, he hasn't committed, he hasn't overextended. He's retained the army over time. Soon to be maxing out. So does commit. Yeah, he commits in. Decent baiting connections, shuts down the Bio army. Fungal connects as well, and Serral, he shuts down the northern flank. At the same time, here comes the southern push. Kira's moving in. Trying to move in, but now Serral can focus here on this attack. Tries to bait out the mine shots, fails to do so. Gonna be committing in. Oof. What am I to land? Massive connections on the bailings. But here comes the rest of Serral's army. Yeah, locking everything down. Still very intense. Kira rallying on the top side. He's committed here into Widowmine production. Drilling Claws is researched. Oh! Oh, Brutal Fungal catching at the greens once again. Badly. Aye, aye, aye. The Fungals, they just keep landing. And again, it's only one Fungal for each side. There aren't even that many. That many infestors, I mean. It's only 2 infestors. 4th base not being taken. Serral, of course, does confirm. Serral already has a hive. With that hive, Adrenals on the way. Hydra production. Really late Hydra production here out of Serral, but interesting that he's going into a more Hydra Lurker heavy composition this time. No Ultras. So Serral's mixing it up. This tells me that Serral, he will have anti-air faster compared to last game. Doesn't have to wait until Hive Tech, and doesn't have to wait until Spire Tech as well to get Corruptors. And once again, the game is slowing down. We're slowing things down. Kira building up and turtling up on 4 bases. Still trying to be active. Uh oh. Yeah, Kira, calm down. Serral late to react, force back. Nice Fungal once again. Yeah, the Fungals, they just keep landing nice baiting connections as well. Serral catching up the army. Not the best Fungal here, but some decent baiting connections nonetheless. Yeah, the army gets cleaned up anyway. Zoning back Cure. Oof. Does take some brutal modifications to the face. Jesus. Calm down, Serral. Calm down. They should play a 1 base, 2 base all in every once in a while. Does happen, but certainly does it very rarely to train Protoss. That's not true. Serral, if you watch Serral versus Clem, Serral does mix in a lot of all-ins against Clem as well. But that's also probably because Clem is more favored in a macro game. But if you want to see Serral all in against Terran, then I do recommend his series versus Clem, as he does mix in a much more aggressive builds. I do think that it's just an opponent-on-opponent basis here for Serral, where he probably feels very comfortable in a macro game against Cure, so he's just happy to just play it out more macro, build up into a higher base count, cut the map in half, get into Hive Tech. And it's not just against Hero when it comes to Protoss. We've seen Serral all in Classic, for example. He actually all in Classic at EWC. At EWC. And in ZvZs as well. Serral, he's fond of all-inning there. Just depends on the opponent. Specifically in his matches against Raynor. You want that Fungal? That's Fungal catching up the army. Bailey's a roll in, catching up the planetary as well. Yeah, and Curie just cannot sustain these losses here. Curie down to 65 SCVs. Stuck on a 3-base setup. As Serral takes over the map. Behind this, still taking. Spire's on the way for eventually Greater Spire. Serral on a healthy drone count. As this time we have gone up to Ghost Badada. Yeah, Thungles will catch him out. 2 Ghost to 4, getting 3, getting up to 4. Yeah, 4 Ghost kills. Now we activate Cloak, but there is detection. And with that, Serral takes another fight. That was how many? That was 7 Ghosts going down. Ay, ay, ay. Expensive losses for Cure. Catching out 7 Ghosts. Oof. Nice mind connections. Yeah, so he finally does commit, and this time he should break the army and the expansion. So he has enough. Even lands a Fungal. Some brutal Fungals. Bailey's they catch him out. Still just rallying in. I believe there is still a planetary here to fall back to, so Cure he can hold the line. But again, he once again plummets in supply. Serral doesn't have enough to push into the planetary, but I mean, still takes the fight. Still takes the fight. Lurkers they move in. GG gets called as Cure is torn apart, and Serral he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on into the playoffs. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Serral with some interesting builds here, having a bit of a different approach both in game 1 and game 2. Likewise, I was curious to see what Cure was going to bring out here on Ruby Rock, and it was interesting. Cure he went into really fast ebays, really fast 1-1 upgrades. I made the assumption that it was going to be fast 1-1 into fast 2-2 into a 3-base all-in A-Rax, but no, Cure he stayed on 5 Raxes instead. He went for a 4 CC, took a gas, took another factory as well, and instead did have a somewhat aggressive mid-game, but not a committed mid-game. So again, Cure he was active with his army, he was applying pressure, but unfortunately he was never able to push into the bases, and Serral was able to comfortably build up into infestors. And we saw just Fungal after Fungal land. Serral he shut down the aggression, he shut down the move-outs, and he was able to freely expand, build up, and gain map control. GG. GG, well played. As Serral he does claim the series, Cure gets knocked down to the decider match. GG. GG well played. That leads us here into our next matchup. That leads us into our PvP. Oh boy. Up next is going to be the elimination match. So Classic went down earlier to Cure, Zan went down to Serral, and now they're both facing off against each other in that elimination match to determine who's going to be knocked out of the group first, and who will advance on to that decider match. Let's go.